We'll start with Minnesota right now, who yesterday made the plunge to go bring in a former Twin, although he's more known from the Milwaukee and Toronto days, but he is a Hall of Famer. He played 3 years up there in the Twin Cities and named Paul Molitor as their new manager for the next 3 years and hopefully beyond. Interesting move by Minnesota. More of an interesting move here by Molitor. Number one, it's very difficult. Now listen, he's not Harmon Killebrew. He's not Tony Oliva. I mean, Molitor is known for other franchises, so it's not like, say, it would be Cubs bringing Sandberg in, Yankees bringing Jeter in, so it's a little easier to make a change if you don't think Molitor is the answer. I get that, but it's a little interesting to go bring in a Hall of Famer to manage your ball club. That's number one. Number two, it's interesting for Molitor. Molitor was a wonderful baseball player, a tremendous two-out hitter, clutch as can be, 3,000 hits, one of my all-time favorites, played forever, a great DH, won championships. I loved him as a player, knew how to play the game the proper way. Does he have the right temperament now to lead a Minnesota team? Let's face it, folks, it's had 4 years in a row of 90 losses or more. That's payroll is, listen, the payroll is certainly respectable, but it's not in $150 million range by any stretch of the imagination. They have that wonderful ballpark that's worn out its welcome a little bit as far as the novelty of it, as far as fans flocking to see the product. They have 27% of their payroll goes to Joe Mauer. I can't scream about that because I wanted the Twins to sign Joe Mauer when he was a prospective free agent 5-6 years ago, and they gave him $184 million, and that contract does not work because they don't have the funds, the revenue to sort of supplement Mauer with other people, plus now he's not catching, so that hasn't worked out well. They made a couple of moves last year with pitchers. Nolasco, I could have told you that. I hated that contract, $50 million for him. The Hughes thing I didn't like either, and Hughes has worked out. 3 years, $24 million, and Hughes had a very, very good year. They got a good closer. They got some good minor leaguers, but again, this team is not necessarily built to win right off the bat. In 2015 and the next couple of years, they don't have a lot of young, great pitchers on that ball club. It's a major problem, and here comes Molitor into a situation where he's going to have to be patient. Hall of Famers being patient, tricky. He's going to have to understand the lay of the land. He's going to have to understand that Minnesota is not necessarily going to threaten Detroit or threaten Kansas City. The Royals just won a pennant for supremacy in that American League Central. So it's in issues here for the Twins. I don't mind a hire. I mean, he's got personality. Nobody's going to argue with the fact he's a good guy. He loves Springsteen, so right out of the gate he's in good shape. Nobody's going to argue with that. I'm a little surprised. Molitor made pretty good money, and he's a guy that I think has done well at the long inning streak. I'm surprised he took the plunge here for 3 years on a team that isn't ready to win. I know they got minor league prospects, the one poor kid out of Tommy John thing in spring training. They got a couple of huge prospects, I get that. But again, they don't have the pitching. They don't have day in and day out pitching. That ballpark's tough to hit in. But they don't have that great pitching to be in the mix here, I wouldn't think, in that tricky division with the Tigers and Royals. Molitor starts there. I like this decision better than, say, John Russell. I like this decision better than, say, an assistant from somewhere else, Dave Martinez or Torey Lovello, something along those lines. Tim Boga, I like this decision. It's something different. Molitor has been on that staff now for a while, so he's learned at the foot of Gardenhire, who learned at the foot of Tom Kelly. The Twins are a patient organization. Normally they do things the proper way. Gardenhire was there forever. 4 years in a row they didn't fire him, so we give the Twins credit there. It's just that Molitor trying to take over this ball club and manufacture a good season out of him, that is tricky. There are 2 Hall of Famers that we can think of that have done this after they've been elected into the Hall of Fame. Remember, Frank Robinson managed, but a lot of that managerial career was before he was a Hall of Famer. Not necessarily because he had the Nationals there later on, but Sandberg did it with the Cubs, now with the Phillies, and Ted Williams did it with the Washington Senators. And Williams, believe it or not, was the manager of the year in his first year with Washington. Then they got Denny McClain. The whole thing went nuts. He hated it. He was bored stiff, wanted to get out. That didn't work out. Sandberg's got some scenarios there in Philadelphia. A lot of older players who are used to winning, wanted to do things his way. First year sort of up and down for Ryan. And Robinson managed for a long time. Never really had the, he did a good job with the 80 Giants, the 82 Giants especially. Indians prior to that, the Nationals. They had that 1 year. They were a very good first half, but not so good second half. It's been a little choppy. The waters have been choppy for the Hall of Famers. Ty Cobb never got the job done. Ruth never got a chance. Hornsby. You look at the list of Hall of Famers who have managed A lot of them, and the Hall of Famers and the managers in the Hall of Fame are never, look, obviously Troy was a good player, not a Hall of Famer. Russo couldn't play. Leland's not going to be a great player when he gets in. Bochy couldn't play when he gets in. Earl Weaver couldn't play. Bobby Cox couldn't play. And now we got a guy who could play who's going to try to match. It's a tricky spot for the Twins. We'll keep an eye on it. I like the idea. I'm a little surprised Molitor took it.